Hi dears, welcome to today's session on teaching aptitude mock test 3. This test 3 covers all syllabus of NCET teaching aptitude of 10 units including education system awareness, education initiative, thinkers ideas, regulatory bodies, diversity in learners, classroom management, teaching learning process assessment. This mock test cover all units of teaching aptitude which gives strength and confidence before your examination. So without wasting your time, I would like to start mock test 3 with your permission. Thank you. So here the first question. Here is the first question of mock test 3. In the context of India's ancient Gyan Parampara, which means knowledge, tradition, education, was primarily viewed as Gyan Parampara, knowledge, tradition, primary view. What is primary perspective of this Gyan Parampara? A strict method for securing real employment, holistic process aiming at self-realization and character building alongside intellectual growth. C. An exclusive right for the wiser class. D. Rote memorization of text without critical thinking. Critical analysis. So here the answer is Gyan Parampara education, which means knowledge, tradition, education, primarily focus on. Primary view is, that is answer B. That is a holistic process aiming at self-realization and character building alongside intellectual growth. Explanation. Ancient Indian education was not merely transactional. It focused on the complete development of the individual, mind, body, spirit, all-round development, with the ultimate goal of liberation, that means moksha, and character formation. Question number 2. As a future teacher enrolling through NCET, you must know the apex statutory body responsible for regulating teacher education program like ITEP BEd in India, which body is NCET. You are writing to become a teacher or to join in teaching institution as a student like ITEP BEd. So on this particular program, who is the authority person? A. NCERT, B. CBSE, C. NCTE, D. UGC. So here the answer is NCTE, Nation Council. See, remember abbreviation, Nation Council for Teacher Education. So the answer is NCTE. While NCERT designs school curriculum, UGC cover general higher education, especially NCTE regulates and maintains standards for teacher education program across the country. So this is answer. Question number 3. You notice a student in your grade 3 class frequently reverse letters, writing reverse letters instead of B, D, struggles significantly to sound, sorry, not right, okay, you're writing, significantly to sound out simple words despite being highly intelligent in oral discussion. This student may be showing a sign of there is a problem in learning learning difficulties, and this problem is, it is in, that is what, sound struggle, significant to sound out. B and D letters are there. These letters, whenever is pronouncing, the grade 3 student is getting problem in pronouncing B letter and D letter. Sometimes it's confusing. And what is this problem? This is called learning difficulties. So that is disability, sir. That is about learning disability. And that answer: A, dyscalculia; B, visual impairment; C, autism spectrum disorder; ASD; D, dyslexia. So here the answer is about dyslexia. What is dyslexia? Dyslexia is a specific learning disability or disability, neurobiological in origin. Neurobiological. It is characterized by difficulties with accurate and or fluent word recognition. Confusion in word recognition by poor spelling and decoding abilities. So here this disability is called as dyslexia. Dyscalculia means problem in calculations. Visual means that is about the finding about the colors. Autism means that is about the disordered character. Like, coming to fourth question, a student in your class rarely participate in group discussions but excels when asked to draw a mind map or chart to explain a concept. According to learning preference, this student is most likely A. So student in your class rarely participate in group discussion but excel when asked to draw mind map or explain a concept. So he was absent, means rarely present to the participation and discussion, but he was good at mind mapping and explain concept. What type of the character is having? So that is about A, kinesthetic learner, visual learner, auditory learner, reader or write learner. So here is going to mind map is over and good explanation is having ability. So the answer is about, that is we can consider as visual learner. What is that? Visual learner. Visual learners process information best when it is presented in a graphic or spatial format such as diagram, flowchart, maps rather than spoken words. It was a little inability in participation in group discussion, but great emphasis abilities on what that is sorry sir that is on mind map and concept explanation. So that is about visual learner. So question number 5, according to National Curriculum Framework for Foundational Stage NCFFS, pedagogy for children aged 3 to 8 years should be primarily. So here 3 to 8, we know 5 3 3, this is the system as of NEP 2020, and this is about, we know this is foundational stage, that is first 5 years we consider as foundational stage. That clear? This foundational stage, according to National Curriculum Framework for this is, it is should primarily, what is the foundational stage? It is focused on foundation stage of 3 to 8 years. It is focused on play based, inquiry based, activity based. So play based, inquiry based, activity based, that Balavatika first and second classes are part of this foundational stage. So here it is focused on only, I'm not explaining other option because it's taking time procedure. So play based, inquiry based and activity based, these are part of the foundation stage. Question number 6. Experience learning is a key focus of NEP 2020. Which of the following is an example of experience learning in science classes? What is experience learning? NEP 2020. Example of experience learning in science class. So, A. Copying the life cycle of a plant from blackboard, watching a 45-minute video on plant biology, growing a bean planted in cup and recording its daily growth and reflecting on the variables that affected it, memorizing the Latin names of 20 local plants. So here you want to get experience learning according to science class. So that is experience learning in a science class. That is the best suited answer is the copying a life cycle, that is not part. Watching a video, that is inactive character. So your answer is about the option number C, that is growing a bean plant in a cup, recording its daily growth and reflecting on the variables that affected it. So this is nothing but experience learning. Experience learning involves learning by doing, followed by reflection. The hands-on act of growing the plant, combined with the recording, thinking about the process, actually construct knowledge. So this is about experiential learning. Seventh one, assessment for learning differ from assessment of learning primarily because assessment for learning, there are two types of assessment. We have summative and formative. One is known as assessment for learning, one is about assessment of learning. So here assessment for learning primarily because assessment of learning primarily because assessment for learning. What is the differences? Happens at end of the year to assign final grade. It is used to rank students against each other. Is an ongoing formative process that helps teachers adjust their instruction and help students to improve their studies or their learning procedure. Only uses multiple choice questions. Your question is what? First of all, assessment for learning differ from assessment of learning. Why? Primarily because assessment for learning is focusing on what? Question. So here the answer is about option number C. Is ongoing and formative process that helps teachers adjust their instruction and help students to improve. If any student is low learner, so is learning's difficulties will be diagnosis in formative assessment. That means in it is an ongoing procedure. Summative is about the grading method. So assessment for learning is a formative. What is that one? It is a formative. It is diagnostic and constructive. It happens during the learning process so that feedback can actually be used to close the learning gap before the final test. That means before summative test. So here assessment for learning is about formative, which is going to be used to diagnosis for learning disabilities. Question number 8. NEP 2020 introduced a shift towards a 360-degree holistic progress card. What does this card evaluate? A. Only the students' marks in core academic subjects like math and science. B. The financial and socio-economic background of the student's family. C. Cognitive, affective, psychomotor domain, including self-assessment, pre-assessment, teacher assessment. D. The physical infrastructure of the school building. So here is the answer is Option number C. NEP 2020 introduced a shift towards a 360-degree holistic progress card. That means cognitive, affective, psychomotor domains, including self assessment, peer assessment, teacher assessment. The holistic progress card moves away from just reporting exam marks. It aims to capture the uniqueness of each learner by assessing project work, phase, role plays, group work, and personal reflection. Question number 9. When setting up a classroom rules at the beginning of the academic year, you must the most effective approach for establishing positive discipline. A. Give students a list of 50 strict rules on the first day only. Have the students collaboratively discuss and draft a short list of positively stated rules. C. Wait for students to misbehave and make rules as punishment. D. Only enforce rules for the lowest performing students. Setting up classroom rules at the beginning of the academic year, the most effective approach in positive discipline. What is that? So here is the answer. Have the teacher and student collaboratively discuss and draft a short list. What is good, what is bad, what should do, what should not do. Both teacher and student must have to come and go with a draft with a short list on positively stated rules. Co-creating rules give students ownership and an understanding of why rules exist for safety and respect, which dramatically increases compliance and builds a democratic classroom. Used to build a democratic classroom. Question number 10. Two students are whispering in the back row during your explanation. Without stopping your sentence, you calmly walk down this and aside and stand directly next to their desk. They stop talking. You have effectively used. They are talking each other. You observe that one during your lecture or explanation, and what you done as a teacher, you went and stand beside them. Then the students who are stop talking. You have effectively used what you are used. So here, yeah, extinction, corporal punishment, proximity control, citation. So that is answer is option number C. Proximity control. What is proximity control? Proximity control is an excellent and non-verbal classroom management teaching. Non-verbal classroom management teaching. Silence, don't talk. These are verbal. You are without using any single word. You simply stand beside them, and that is called non-verbal classroom management technique. By simply moving closer to the off-task students, the teacher redirects behavior without disturbing the momentum of the lesson. So there was no disturbance for the lesson. Simply silently go and stand with the that person. So this is called as proximity control. It is an excellent technique in classroom. Question number 11. In the 21st century constructive classroom, the role of the teacher has fundamentally shifted from a sage on the stage, sag and the stage, That is about what? A strict taskmaster, positive observer, felicitated to co-learner, and the option database of fact. So here the answer is about, that is about facilitator and co-learner. So again understand, the teacher no longer just transmit information. They facilitate environments where students construct their own knowledge, and they model lifelong learning by investigating new questions alongside their students. So this is about 21st century constructive classroom strategy, that is about facilitator and co-learner. 12th one, a student confides in you about a sensitive family issues affecting their mental health. According to the ethics of the teaching profession, your primary responsibility is, a student confides in you about sensitive family issues. There are sensitive family issues of the student, and that were discussed with you as the ethics of teaching profession. You are professional person. What is your primary responsibility? A. Discuss the issue with the other teachers in the staff room to get opinion. B. Address the issue publicly in the class so peers can support the student. Maintain strict confidentiality and sharing information only with the designated professional, like school counselor, to get student proper help. D. Ignore it as it is a personal matter outside of academics. So your answer is that maintain strict confidentiality, sharing the information only with designated professional like school counselor to get the student proper help. So here are the explanation. Maintaining student privacy is a core ethical mandate. However, because teachers have a duty of care, they must involve the appropriate pastoral or counseling staff to ensure the students' well-being. Question number 13. On NAP 2020, what is the new pedagogical and curricular structure that replaces existing 10 plus 2 system? A. 5432, B. 4334, C. 5334, D. 5343. So here that is about answer. Sorry, sir. That is about answer C. 5334. Foundational, preparatory, middle, secondary. So here that is answer C. This structure perfectly aligns curriculum with the cognitive development of children. Foundational 3 to 8 years, preparatory next 3 year 8 to 11, middle next 3, second 3, that is 11 to 14, secondary that is 4, that is 4 to 18. Question number 14. The Nipun Birth Mission was launched by the government to urgently achieve which critical educational milestone? A 100% computer literacy in high schools, universal foundation literacy and numeracy FLN by grade 3, free college education for girls, integration of AI in school administration. Here is the answer is about B. Universal foundational literacy and numeracy by grade 3. By grade 3. NEP 2020 identified that without basic reading and math skills by grade 3, the rest of the curriculum becomes incomprehensible. Nipun Bharat specifically target this FLN crisis. 15th one. According to the Rights of Person with a Disability RPWD Act 2016, Inclusive education explicitly means, according to 2016 RPW Act, inclusive education explicitly means what? Yeah, educating children with disabilities in special and separate schools. B. A system where students with and without disabilities learn together with teaching suitably adapted to meet diverse learning needs, lowering the passing marks for students to ensure equality, providing education to disabled children only through online distance learning. So here is the answer, that is about B. A system where students with and without disabilities learn together with teaching suitably adapted to meet diverse learning needs. True inclusion means adapting the general education environment through a reasonable accommodation and universal design so that disabled students can thrive alongside their non-disabled peers. That is promoting inclusive education. Question number 16. When teaching mathematics, transitioning a child from concrete counting to abstract symbolic representation is best achieved through the use of concrete to abstract symbolic representation. A. Advanced algebraic formula. B. A manipulative such as counting blocks or fraction tiles, memorizing or to memorization of table, standardizing test. So here concrete to abstract. That is about manipulative counting blocks or fraction tiles. Physical manipulatives allow children to touch, move, and physically experience mathematical concepts like grouping or dividing, which is necessary developmental step before they can understand abstract numbers on paper. So that is about manipulative. Question number 17. Enquiry based learning is a pedagogical approach heavily used in science. How does a typical inquiry based lesson begin? The teacher reads the final conclusion from the textbook. Students memorize the definitions of scientific terms. The teacher presents a puzzling real-world phenomena or open-ended question to spark student curiosity and investigation. The students sit quietly and copy notes from the board. So here is the answer, 17th one, that is C. The teacher presents a puzzling real-world phenomena or a open-ended question to spark student curiosity and investigation. So, inquiry mimics the actual scientific method. It starts with the question or observation, promoting students to form hypotheses and conduct experiment to discover the answer themselves. Question number 18. Which digital initiative acts as India's national platform for school education, providing QR coded textbook and a massive repository of e-learning content? That is A. Swayam, B. Diksha, C. Prashad, D. Nishta. So here is the answer, that is about Diksha. Diksha. Diksha full form digital infrastructure for knowledge sharing. provides e-content for schools across India. Swayam focus on higher education moves massive open online course. Nishita is for teacher training. 91. A student copies three paragraphs from a Wikipedia article and pastes them directly into their social science essay without using quotation marks or citing the source. In digital ethics, this is known as A. Cyberbullying, phishing, plagiarism, open educational resourcing. So here is the answer that is about plagiarism. What is plagiarism? Plagiarism is the act of taking someone else's work, words, or ideas and passing them off as your own. Saying that it's your own. Teaching students proper citation is a critical component of ICT and academic ethics. Question number 20. Rabindranath Tagore established Vishwabharati at Shantiniketan because he believed education should be conducted strictly inside four walls to prevent the distraction, take place in close communion with nature, integrating freedom, joy and the arts, focus entirely on a military training discipline, rely solely on British colonial curriculum. So here is the answer that is about take place in close communication, close community with nature, integrating freedom, joy, and the arts. Tagore rebelled against the rigid, oppressive colonial classroom. He believed that nature is the greatest teacher and education must nurture the child's innate creativity and joy. Question number 21. Mahatma Gandhi's concept of education advocated for the holistic development of the three H's. What do they stand for? Three H. Mahatma Gandhi. Health, hygiene, happiness. Head, heart, hand. History, humanity, Hindi. Hope, harmony, hard work. So according to Gandhiji, that is about answer B. Head, heart, hand. Gandhi believed pure intellectual education was insufficient. Education must also develop moral and spiritual character. Moral and spiritual character and practical vocational skills through manual labor. 22nd, which pioneering educator and social reformer faced intense social backlash and physical abuse for opening the first school for girls in Pune 1848. Annie Besant, Sarojini Naidu, Savitri Bai Phule, Mahadevi Verma. So your answer is that is Savitri Bai Phule. Savitri Bai Phule. Savitri Bai Phule, along with Jyotirao Phule, is a monumental figure in Indian education history, both on wife and husband. She was weaponized education to fight against the oppressive caste system and marginalization of women. 23. As a modern teacher integrating ICT in education, using interactive whiteboard, which means smart board, is superior to a traditional projector because it, what is that? Eliminates the need for teacher entirely, prevents students from looking at the board allow the teacher and student to physically manipulate digital object and annotate directly on the screen, promoting active engagement, automatically grades all homework assignment. So here is the answer, that is C. Allows the teacher and student to physically manipulate digital object and annotate directly on the screen, promoting active engagement. Through ICT, integration is not just about displaying information, it is about interaction. Smart boards turns passive viewing into a hands-on collaborative digital experience. So thank you.